You have your thingy? Yeah. Yeah. So last Sunday, Linda says, I want to go out. That's it. I've been busy all week with my work, nonstop. We go to the movies on Sunday. We saw a great movie not last Sunday, not yesterday. What do you call it? Hail Mary. Very good. Very good. I read the book and she read the book. So I liked it very, very much. It's my kind of movie. So I haven't been to a movie in 5 years, right? Maybe COVID times. Really long, really long. Year. They go next door to Brookfields. There's a Regal thing in a hotel.
Downtown. Oh.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, gorgeous building, the hotel, and it's gorgeous, like from, like you're in another planet. Yeah. Anyway, the movie is, those first class seats, you lie back, electric, it's beautiful, really comfortable. I said, wow, this is really nice. So I bought popcorn. She bought a bag of, I don't know what, M&Ms. We parked. We finished the movie, which is very long. We took the car, parked at Reserve Cut. We ate, no drinks, no salad. We just ate meals. $600 day. You knew.
Dinner in the movie.
Dinner in the movie.
Yeah, I had to get
dinner in the movie. What should it cost a dinner movie? $100?
Yeah, I had to get the popcorn. Yeah, I had to get the.
Mine would only be 500 because I would be parking a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
How much was the first parking lot? You know where Brookfields is?
Yeah,
It's by there.
Yeah, it was
How much was the parking lot? $72. The movie was only 60.
Senior citizen.
Yeah, senior citizen. Yeah, couldn't believe it. $72 to park your car.
It's nuts.
Did it wash it? Yeah, no.
Oh, it was a good movie. You like if you see it, you like it. Yeah.
Really, we tried to find a movie yesterday and we saw this and we said,
Oh no, you like it.
too late.
Yeah, you like it. Did you see the Martian? Did you like that? Did you like it? Yeah. Well, this is out of 2.5 hours about, I guess, the movie. There's only one actor on the screen for 2 hours.
Really? Wow.
But Linda wanted to go to the bathroom. She says, I can't go to the bathroom because it was good. They do a good job of it. Yeah. I mean, when in the beginning, when he's getting on the spaceship or whatever, there's a lot of people and it'll flash back to it. But almost all the time, it's just one guy on the screen.
The Martian's the one where the guy gets lost because the
Mars. He gets stuck on Mars. Yeah. Matt Damon. Yeah. Good movie. Very good. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Look, I go to the movies once often. All right.
My brain hurt today.
No, I ain't
Reading
yours is English. I know what his was.
My brain hurt.
I'm reading
Lewis's
thing. What? I had to go print the article to read the article to understand what it.
It's true.
Yeah, I didn't read. I'm sitting there off to read it.
The article was shorter than the post.
Yeah.
It wasn't long.
Well, the article was easier to make.
Yeah. Rabbi Sassoon used to say that the scientists, in spite of themselves, are going to go full cycle and come back to saying
they don't have a choice.
They're not going to have a choice. That's what he said that it's been 40 years since he passed away. He said that before that. He says they're going to come full cycle and they're going to say, oh, there's something.
They want to be intellectually honest.
No, he says he said in spite of themselves, it won't be their option. They're going to come and say, and they're getting to it now because of quantum mechanics and the weird science and probabilities, and you see something and it changes what it is at the other end, and all of these, what do you call it when you do that? The observation, right? Observation changes what the science of something. So you look at it and then they make the experiment. You don't look at it, it goes to one place. You look at it, it goes to another place. It changes. So they don't know what to do with that. They go crazy with that. What does looking at it do? And all the rest of quantum mechanics and how it's piling up. So
I was just listening to a podcast I don't know, 2 days ago. A guy is a materialist, panpsychist. That means that he thinks that this consciousness,
Everywhere.
yeah. So, but he
Tell them
calls
what
himself a
panpsych.
materialist.
They don't know what that is.
It's like that. He says that consciousness,
No, the word. Tell them the word. Pan.
psychic,
Yeah, they don't know panpsychic. They never heard it before.
psychism means that there's consciousness at every level of existence. So whether you're talking about a molecule, atom, quark.
I used to do that in front of rabbis and students, say hi to them when he was giving the class, right? Because he would be talking about that. So I'd say hello. Many times I'd knock on there, how you doing, boys? Like, right?
But they're realizing that consciousness is fundamental to
To
reality.
everything. That Rabbi Sassoon said that a long time ago. He says everything has consciousness.
Well,
Yeah.
the Kabbalists have their own agenda, but they,
So I'm talking capitalist. It's a different.
yeah.
Yeah, it has. It's a lot.
Yeah, but
It's in there.
I don't know if they say that they give a mystical
Right.
Yeah.
level to everything. This is different.
They're on the same track though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say there's a similarity.
Right. A lot of things that Rabbi Sassoon said about this subject were very cutting edge.
Yeah.
Very, very cutting edge. He
Yeah,
spent a
ahead of
lot of time in it. Sure, for sure ahead of his time.
And then they're gonna find he's right.
Yeah.
Consciousness, that's the cornerstone of everything that he says. And
Yeah.
it just once you hear it, it's correct.
Yeah. So, talking about that subject, I started working on chapter 11. If you all look at your Tanakh, just to remind yourself of what chapter 11 is in Vayikra. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we spoke about everything before that because did I not talk about Nadab and Abihu? And I talked about Ze'adavar Shesiv Hashem, right? That's right. We spoke about that. And we spoke about how everything builds up to the scene in chapter 10 with Nadav and Avihu. And how you doing there, Ed? Good to see you.
How are you?
How you doing, Lee? Good to see you. It's good we didn't start till now. So we got up to the point of chapter. I think we went up to Nadav and Avihu, and then the Keturah. Ike, do you remember if we talked about chapter 10? Did we talk about Moshe checking out to see if they ate the hatat?
Yeah.
We talked. That's where we ended, correct?
He yells at Aaron
And the Haron,
Yeah.
right. Now, it's very critical that you understand this. Chapter 11, you all know. You could look at it for a second if you like while I'm talking, just to refresh yourself. You read it just past Shabbat. So it's all the laws of Kashrut that are in Vayikra. The laws of Kashrut exist in chapter 14 in Devarim. And the laws of in Devarim take up exactly 180 words. In fact, if you look at chapter 14 in Devarim, you'll note that it is preceded by a statement that many of you are familiar with, and that is Banim Atem Hashem Koichem, Lo Titkodedu, V'lo Tasimu Korhal Benenechem Lamet, right? Don't cut yourself. Don't put bald spots when someone dies. Kiam Kadosh Atal Adonai Lecha. V'kar Bahar Adonai Liot Lo Lam Sigulam Mikol Hamim Asher Peredmah. And then Lo Tuchal Kol Torah. That's how it opens up, and it concludes with Lo Tavashir Gadi B'Halevi Mo in verse 21. That's 180 word text. The dietary laws in Vayikra, in chapter 11, all of chapter 11 is the beginning to the end. The guy who made the chapters, you couldn't miss it because the chapter 10 last words, Vayishmat Moshe v'Tabenav, is a different subject. And then chapter 11, Vaydaber Hashem Moshe v'Aaron lemod, Dabru b'Nei Mosot ha'chaya asher tochilu, which goes on, and the last words in chapter 11 are להבדיל בין הטמא ובין התור ובין החיה הנאכלת ובין החיה אשר לא תאכל.
Right.
And the next words are going to be Isha Kitazia. So it's a clear beginning and end. It's 593 words, which is more than triple, right? 180 times 3 would be 540. Yes, a lot more. It has in it, as do the other like Sarat and Zab and Zabah, it has a concluding statement. This concluding statement is Zotorat.
Yeah.
If you take a look at chapter 11's last words, and no, so it has what you'll call a subscripture, right? Zot Torat Habihema Va'of. Those words will come at the end of if you'll take a look at where is it?
1147.
No. I'm saying it'll come again at the end of Zab and Zabah, which will be in 1359. Zotarat Nega Sarat. Everybody see that? Concluding words over there.
Yeah.
And at the end of Zab and Zabah, it'll say
32.
15, what is it? 32, yeah, Zotarat Hazab. So that, of course, that will be the end of the 4 sections. You have 4 sections,
What's the fourth?
the Kashrut,
Right.
Yoledet,
You let it. Okay, that's a small section.
it's a small section, and then Sarat, and then Zab and Zabah. Now, we've talked about these 4 sections, how they're perfectly surrounded, bounded by, on one side, the Nadav and Avihu story, concluding with Moshe and Aharon, which we'll talk about in a minute, and start on the other side, Aharem Mot Shnei Bnei Aharon. Can't get clearer than that. Aharem Mot will open up with Yom Kippur. The 4 sections will be about what every Jewish person in the world for thousands of years, if you're Jewish, they go, "Oh, you're Jewish? Yeah. You eat kosher food? Yeah. You do brit milah on your kid? Yeah. Yeah. Your wife go to mikveh? Yeah. Oh, they're religious, right? All of that comes right out of this section over here, right? Right out of it. So this section is playing, of course, into what happened when Nadav and Avihu subsequent to it, and Kippur is prefaced by the next words after Zav Zav. Aharem Mot Shnei Bnei Aaron b'korbatam v'anlai ve'yamutu, when they died, and so on and so forth.
Right.
We've spoken about this extensively in this class in the past. If you've forgotten, I'd love to do the review today, but we'll never get through the class. All right? Should I make it a little lower? Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to do the review, but I will not do that because I don't want you to lose out on what I want to talk about tonight.
Otherwise, you connect the last pasuk, I don't not eating.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm about to do. That's what I'm about to do now. About to say that the last 160 word section, which we've shown you in the past, you may have forgotten. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I'm not going to spend any time on that. Just to remind you that it says Asher Siveti, Asher Siva Hashem, Asher Siva. They're both equidistant. The two Asher Sivas. The middle words of the 160 is Asher Siva, not Siveti, that God commanded. And Moshe is the Mashgiach, and he's coming to see if they ate the hatat.
Right.
And the Rab has a spectacular commentary on this, game changer commentary. When they come to see if they had that, when he sees it, he sees that they didn't have it. But by the way, over here, this is where Haron sons are called Bnei Haron Hanor Tarim, and the leftovers, right? The Notarim, and he comes to see, right?
Mhm.
That word notad is going to come up in Vahanotad min Hashem and Asher al Kafa HaKohen. The word comes up twice. There's a lot of very important things that happen in this piece. They're called Bnei Aaron, the leftovers, and then it says the leftover. The word is coming up in reference to them, right? So Moshe turns around to let me say the word. I want to just see if it's right here.
How many Zot Torat statements are there?
Yeah.
Third.
No,
We just counted six.
there's two in Sarat.
There's two inside, yeah, because there's the two sides, yeah.
They got some-
Yeah. I meant three sections. The Yoledet does not have a Zot.
It does.
Oh, it does? What does
Yeah.
it say?
It says, gotta open to it, but it's Zot Torat HaYoledet LeZachar or Libnei Keva.
Oh, it does. I looked for it before and I didn't see it as a.
Not at the end.
In the middle of the
It was
Pasuk.
before the-
Oh, that's why. That's
Yeah.
the 80-word section, right? How it works.
At the beginning of the Pasuk is Vayikra Yifnei Almanach
Right.
Kefer Aleh V'Tahara
Right. Tahira, right?
Tahera
Right, I think,
Memkor Dameha
right,
Zot Torat HaYoledet. Blah, blah. And then there's a Pasuk after.
right.
Nuts.
So, I want to just see if I was right about the notad. Yeah, it's not here, it's later on. Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get caught up on this. The fact of the matter is, he gets very angry and he turns around to Elazar and Itamar and he tells them, how could you, he furious, blows a gut. Could you do such a thing? And I told you and this and so on and so forth. Of course, when I've told this class in the past, I've told you guys, Elazar and Itamar are like this. They're looking at each other. What did we do wrong? Dad said we shouldn't eat, and we didn't eat it. Of course, he's blasting his brother out, but he's looking at the sons when he's doing
It
it.
says no Tarim earlier too.
It does, right? Yeah.
Starts off now.
Starts off.
Right. So yeah. But there's a later one that's going to term is going to be, but it's okay. Later on in the text, not in here. Later on. In any event, Aharon turns around to him and tells him, "Listen, you know what happened to." I'm paraphrasing. I don't want to spend time on this, other than to say you're all aware of this.
Yeah.
He says, "You know what happened to me today? These things happened to me today." Ha'itab b'nei Hashem. Now, this was after you have a piece that 160 words, that the 80 and 80th words is Siva Hashem. And you have the other two, Siveti, Kashe, Siveti, and coming up equidistant from each other at the 27th and 28th words, something like that. Yeah, exactly. It said, and then it said again at the end, from the end. If you look for it, you'll find it. Huh?
Yeah, Pasuk 8.
Suveti, Siviti, and Siva Hashem.
Yeah.
And you can't get more powerful than a statement than Moshe Rabbeinu says. How you can't get a better mashgiach and a more important statement. Who is furious, and Aharon, whose credibilities could be questioned because he didn't do a very good job by the Egel, to put it mildly, right?
He did a fine job.
Right, yeah. And now he turns around and he says, I'll quote his words to you. He says, "Han hayom hikribu et hatatam et olatam flanai v'tekrena oti ka'ele v'akalti hatat hayom hayta b'nei Hashem, and I should have barbecue now." Would that be good in the eyes of God? So over here, he's making a call. He makes the call, even though Moshe said, "You must do it." Very critical. Even though you must, God said you had to.
Even though don't mourn.
Everything, big lot of normal, right? So on.
Right.
So that okay. You want to put on a suit because you go in front of the people, okay. But you want me to have a meat, to have a meal? I can't do it. Not I can't do it. God wouldn't want it. Ha'itab b'nei Hashem. Now this is Moshe. Remember, Vayiksof, he's blowing a gut. He's yelling at them. the sons. So it says, doesn't say what he said, Moshe. The last words of chapter 10 are
Okay.
Vayishma Moshe Vayita be'inav. All it tells you is Vayishma means he heard it.
Mhm.
And of course, you're supposed to think of him going like this. Good point.
You know, he gets angry at the boys, not at Aharon.
I said that. I spoke about it. He's not angry at them. He's angry at Aaron. He's looking at them. And
He's
he's
a teacher.
No.
Aaron's standing right
No,
here.
but Ella Haron ve'Ella Zabe Tamar. He's yelling them both, not just.
Yeah. No, but he's looking at them. Al Elazar. No, you're reading the book.
But Ben Moshe El Haron ve'Ella Zabe Tamar.
Would you read what you quoted, Ivy?
The first
Vayiksof, הנה, okay, I'll stop now. בעצם,
Just say Vayiksof.
ויקסוף, הרב אלעזר ועל איתמר בני אהרון הנותרים.
Thank you. Look at those
I
words.
see that, but okay.
That's who he is.
That's exactly it.
He's speaking to them, and then he turns to them. They're here.
Maybe when he tells the three of them to take the mincha and stuff.
Yes.
That's it, that's what I'm saying.
No, we're talking about when he blew a gun.
He got upset. He just got upset. The boys.
Vayiksof to Elazar and Itamar. Right.
So you know what? They're acceptable. They're the brothers of the brothers who died. So you did. Yeah.
No, but they're. I
Yeah.
told you when he's looking at them,
Right.
the father's standing right there. Why isn't he talking to the father? He's not eating,
Being nice.
right? He's not eating. He knows he didn't eat.
Being nice.
So, right, he knows he didn't eat. So Haron responds. The boys don't respond. They're not kids. They're grown men. But they're not going to respond. They're in front of their father. The sons are looking at each other going like this. What do you want from us?
They're not going to throw their father under the bus.
Right. Clearly, you're supposed to think of them looking at each other like this. Moshe Rabbeinu. He's losing it. He's freaking out. He's angry. And they are looking at each other going, what is he yelling at us for? We're listening to our father, and he knows that because he didn't eat. So let him yell at his brother.
Mhm.
So he's being, nice to his brother and directing it to him. Right.
Right.
So then he turns around to him and he does the answer. Haron answers. The boys don't answer. They go, listen. He goes, listen. You saw what happened, et cetera, et cetera. Would that be good in God's eyes? That's making a call based on conscience, based on common sense, in the face of ritual, correct? I didn't want to spend
Yes.
5 seconds.
Yes, this is the first time you ever, and maybe the only time, that by Daber Aharon El Moshe. I don't know if you ever see that.
Okay. It's possible. I want to get out of this section because this tonight has nothing to do with this.
Oh, boy.
No.
Okay, you're only 25 minutes in.
No, it is very important that you understand this last piece. Would God want me to eat this thing? I didn't eat it because God wouldn't want me to. It wouldn't be good in God's eyes.
No.
Moshe hears him say that and goes,
Good point.
Right.
good point. It ends on the words, Vayishma Moshe, Vayitav. That's the end of the subject. The Rab's commentary in here is spectacular.
Yeah.
You are about to get in 4 sections dealing with ritual that every Jew, that's why I brought it up, and I said, this is what it means to be Jewish. You eat kosher food, you go to you do bring milah in your child, you go to the mikveh, and here you are, right before that ritual being told that you make a call with common sense, and ritual never overrides your conscience, right? Your conscience takes precedence. That is important. But that being said, as important as that is, it's about eating food. The whole subject is about, did you eat? Did you eat? You have to eat. You have to eat. You didn't eat. How dare you not eat? God wouldn't want me to eat. And now you go into a thing about what you should eat and not eat. Okay? That's all I wanted to say.
Got it.
That's Joey Namer's observation on Friday,
But he's not gonna-
right? When I was talking about it, right? It's in your face when you think about it. It's in your face. The very next words are going to be, this is what the words are in chapter 11's opening words. Lemor Alehem, Dabiru El Bnei Yisrael Lemor. It's a two-part superscription, one of 8 words and one of 5 words. Zota Haya Asher Tochilu. this is what you're supposed to eat from the hayot. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I looked at this last week. I was working on this all last week because I told Joey Angel, and Ralphie, Rabbi Ralphie, I said, listen, we decided the next volume is going to be on Shemot and Vayikra because there have been very significant breakthroughs in understanding Shemot and Vayikra. When I say significant, a lot of them were done already, but there's been forward movement that puts it on another level.
Okay.
That being the case, I said, we can't put the book, we're going to write the book. This book's going to be written for a layman, not like the first two volumes, so that you could read it and it'll be interesting, like in volume 2, which is inside. I've shown it to you, right? The what do you call it? The test one. 80 or 90 pages of it, of 500, is about Shlomo and written in a way that people like reading it. It's I put it in Torat Moshe also, the Rab's volume, and it's written that you could read it, and it's interesting reading. So I say we're going to have to write the whole commentary that way. That's what I'm interested in doing for a Torah commentary. We don't have to prove you have 1,000 pages of dealing with proofs. Now you can use it as a basis and write the Torah commentary. So I said, there's one thing, I have everything in Shemot and Vayikra, and with the major significant breakthroughs of the last 6 months or whatever, I don't have anything to say about Keshrut
Until now.
until these last few weeks. And that's what I want to tell you tonight. That said, how you doing, Ed? That said, I want to give you a quick orientation for a minute on how I look at it. I right away look at it. We discussed the first 7 chapters of Vayikra, and I told you how I look at all the words and the double entendres and what it means. We spent you were here for that, I think, right? No, Mars. Oh, you
last week, but the other one.
Oh, you didn't hear that. Right. No.
Last week was a lot of it.
So this functions right away when I look at it. I say there's another level that's functioning over here, but I can't find it. And subsequently, I'll tell you what happened that solidified that there's something else going on in the text. Not that there's not a surface thing of you can't eat pig, and you can't eat camels, and you can't have whatever, the shafan, whether it's a rabbit, and so on and so forth. But here's how I looked at it. I'll tell you how I looked at it. If you look at the opening words of over here, it says like this. "Daberu b'nei Yisrael lemor, zot ha'chaya asher techelu." Zot ha'chaya asher techelu mikol b'yamei asher la'aretz. What kind of animal? Anything that has a split hoof and chooses cud that you could eat. But from those animals that chew their cud, right? Those words ma'aleh gerah, by the way, means to bring up, ma'aleh, to bring up the gerah, the cud. Right? Because when an animal eats grass, he swallows it. It goes into the stomach processes it, and then he doesn't vomit, but he gulps it up, right? If you see a camel chewing its cud, what does it look like? You see the ball coming up his neck.
Oh, you see it?
You can see it, yeah. You see it, and then he starts to chew.
Yes,
Rabbi Ralphie told me last week in one of the sessions, he said he's seen it, and then he said, what the cud looks like is like he's chewing gum.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
It's like he's chewing, a big piece of bubble gum, like kids here, like he's chewing it. It's like chewing gum. So I said the following: if it chews its cud, right? but you can't have the gamal because it chews its cud. But if you have a look at a camel's hoof, it has two nails that come out from it, two long sharp nails. Now that is not claws that he uses to kill animals. If you see a lion's paw, you scared out of your wits because he can tear things to shreds with it. But it's still called a has look at it this way. It's not a claw like a predator, but it has the shape. It has the part of the look of what a predatorial animal has, even though it's not predatorial because it has grass. So it's telling you, even though since it doesn't have a really split hoof, truly, in other words, it has those two nails. Again, by the way, why do you have two nails coming out of the camel's foot? What does Wikipedia tell you? Because he's a desert traveler and he needs those to on his four legs
Displace the sand.
to grit, to work in the sand. If it would be completely flat,
Just
he wouldn't have it. Over here, he has two things. So, and it's not even used. The point being, it's not even used for predatorial purposes. It's used for desert travel, right? It's right. That's
why
right.
they have to specify the camel because you might think because it's not predatory.
Well, it's telling you,
No, because it looks like.
even if it's that kind of a hoof, it doesn't work. And then it's ma'aligara ufarsainu mefris tamehu. Et hashafan, why? The same thing. Ma'aligara farsayu afris tamehu. Vet harnevet kimat yirahu ufarsa lo frisa temeahi lachem.
Three.
Now the pig
The other way.
is the other way. It's mefris persa. Who? V'shoseh sa sha v'shosa v'shosa shesa parsa v'hu gera lo yigad. But he doesn't chew his cud. He's out. That's saying in the opening words. You know what you can't have? You can't have A if it doesn't also have B. If it has A and it doesn't have B, out.
Yeah, B.
If it has B and it doesn't have A, out. I look at that last week. I said the following. You know what this is really talking about? This is talking about, it's talking about when you make, what is food talking about? Based on what we know, now listen carefully, everybody, please. Based on what we know about how the next three sections will move, after you finish with what you eat, which you do all the time, food is necessary for the individual to live. From the minute he's born, from the second you're born, and you start breathing, at that second, you need liquid and food. And if you don't get it, you die. You don't get liquid, you die within 3 days. You don't get food within whatever it is. The other side of it is sex. The sexual one is not because if you don't have sex, you die. It's because the society dies. If there's not a drive for sex, that's just like food. You have no choice when you eat food. You're starving. You're going to eat food whether you like it or not. God is not going to allow human beings to die of malnutrition naturally. You can die of malnutrition if you can't get food. But there's going to be a drive to get water and a drive in spite of you, whether you like it or not, you're going to do it, right? Naturally. And you like it. No, and you like it. That's for the human being to survive as an individual. The society, in order to propagate, is going to have a drive for sex. And that drive is going to be also beyond your, or, so to speak, beyond your control. Not so to speak, it is going to be beyond your control. You're going to want it because as like food, it's enjoyable to the body, and there's going to be. You saw what he did? That's right. It was great. He was like this, Stephen. So you're not going to have any choice in the matter, and it's going to the society, the planet survives that way because you're therefore going to propagate the society. You're gonna have children. Otherwise, as we've said in the past, you remember this, Lee? We said in the past, if you don't have a sex drive and you had to do some weird thing to have a child, right? put your finger in your right ear for 15 minutes every 2 hours, the world will die out in one or two, in a generation or two. Very quickly, it would die. It really would die. So God puts that in. Of course, now both of those things, both of those end things, you because God gave it to you, He gave it to you as a favor to the world. It's God's Hanun, so to speak. He let you become sentient, and now He gives you a thing that He's not going to let you die. He's not going to let you die in spite of what you want. He's get both from the nutrition part, from the eating, and both from the your drives. You abuse the food drive. You eat unhealthy things. You take in all the unhealthy drinks. You take whatever. Alcohol. You anything that you ingest in your body. Drugs. Drugs fall into the same. Everything that you take, that you ingest, right? That you internalize physically into your body. If there's abuse, it comes out with terrible consequence. Terrible consequence with death. With death. With death.
So Bereshit chapter 3 covers both those things, and now they misuse and abuse them.
That's correct.
Perfect.
Because food. That's
They
what
ate
you're
too much
talking
food they
about.
shouldn't eat.
That's right.
And
That's
then
right.
the punishment was the woman had to suffer during childbirth.
That's correct. That's correct. So now you have the other side of it is the sex. You abuse that, you end up with children without parents, with broken families, with abuse, with suffering, which also leads to death because then there's the support, the family support system breaks down when there's what is it called when you're unfaithful? It's infidelity. Infidelity has terrible not consequences you're fighting, consequences that could be death. It could bring suffering beyond comprehension. The children could reel from it, so to speak. So it's very, very important that both of these, of course, and that's Torah spends a lot of time telling you, lo tirzah, lo tignov, lo tanath, and sorry, lo tignov, lo tanath, and lo tirzah, right? Like that, yeah. No, vice versa. Lo tirzah, lo tanath, lo tignov. So 6, 7, and 8. Jealousy and the need and so on and so forth. All of that said, that we look at the second one as follows. Now, I've said all this to you before, so I'm only saying it that you hear me say it quickly. That you live in the world. You're now functioning. That's food. You're here. You have internalized what's the food, and now you have a child. You have to bring that child into the covenant. It's an 80-word law. It says, it says it. It says on the 8th day, and the woman is in an unclean, the mere tahora state, pure blood state, for 80 days for the female. So there's 80-word law, which we made a big deal out of when we found this and what it does. Sarat, you all remember what I said about Sarat, that Sarat is about bringing up the children. Not going to spend time on that now. That will take 2 weeks. But suffice it to say that all the words about Shemuel in the 4th chapters, there are critical words that come up in Sarat. And Sarat is the one where you have to observe in the society what goes on. Vera'ah Kohen 22 times, 23 times. And he has to look. You have to assess it. Is it right? Is it white? Is it gray? Is it high? Is it low? Is it fading? Is it if it's yellow? If it's green? All of those are calls for a skin disease. It's a skin disease. It's a disease, but it's a surface disease. That surface disease is one which, if something is out of whack, you put the child in, you ground the child. You're out for a week. Come back. You look at it. It's at a certain point in the time, it could be so bad you're out of the camp and you're now with Sarat, it's you have to go into quarantine, maybe forever, because it's you can get contaminated from it, right? We say that whole story functions on another level completely. Take my word for it that I know, I said it. I'm saying, take my word for it that if we spend time on it, you'll see a lot of interesting things. The last one is talking about sex and the ramifications of what happens when abuse is done there, and it's talking about STDs, which are sexually transmitted diseases. And since it talks about genital emissions, which are internal sickness, the other one is a surface sickness. STDs are internal. You're sick. Your body's leaking, right? There's something going on inside that's wrong, right? So that's not called it external, it's internal. Before penicillin in the world, if a guy got an STD, he could die or have very terrible ramifications. Very, very, very bad, right? It brought about that. So now you get a shot and you're over, you get a syphilis or gonorrhea and you go to get a penicillin shot and he tells you, okay, you'll be done in a week or whatever it takes. But that's an internal disease. That internal disease, we say, represents a lot more. You have the normal marriage there. You have the woman who has the biological normal emission, right? And since you're dealing with emissions, you deal with the male emissions, the female emissions, both are normal. With the male, the normal emission not in a marriage is a mikre laila, right? Where it happens to them at night because it's a built-in system that could happen to a male. With the female, it's biological. It's going to happen every single month, no matter what, etc. We say that all of that ties in intrinsically with how we're in Vayikra and the role priesthood played in all of this, the corruption that they played in all of this.
Yes.
And that's why the very next thing is Yom Kippur, right?
Yes.
Which all of those things, which are purity laws, are preliminary to Kapara on Yom Kippur, which then turns to what it means to be holy, which says ethics are holy, like the 15th Mizmor in Tehillim, the Ten Commandments, chapter 19, Kedoshim Tiyu Ki Kedosh Ani. So then you have the picture that I just now said before you, that you now turn to ethics and morality. Holiness has nothing to do with what the priests told you and what the religious leaders did. It has to do with ethics and morality. That you give charity, you take care of the poor, the weak, the underprivileged. It brings all those subcategories of them to say how you bring about justice in society. Good.
Good. And then in more, you put the Kohanim in the place.
No, then you go full force.
You put the Kohanim in their place first.
Not only put them in their place, you're gonna have the holidays where you're gonna change their power base. Right. You don't put them in their place. No, you take away their power.
The fact that they can't go near the dead and all this stuff, you're putting them in their place. I don't think
it's more than no. It's not. Okay. The word's not right for putting them in their place. 1 second. You may mean this. It's for taking power away from them. Yeah. You're going to wipe out all their power base. The holidays is where they make all their money. Everybody comes to town. They come with money, and then they can get from very innocent people. They can compromise them, telling them, "We'll give you a blessing. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. You got to give money," and they do it. That's 2,500-year-old in the 73rd Mizmor. He says they take the people to the holy place and they squeeze them for everything. The corrupt priests. That said, when you do that at the holidays, that's one of the biggest. That's Christmas. You know what I mean? Can I stop this more? Just going to say because I forgot. What was yesterday? Somebody. Yesterday was? Good.
It's no wonder then Kippur can't eat and we can't have sex. Okay, is that
yeah, of course they do that, but it's more to it, but more. So now I understand the opening statement that's made here in food having a lot more to say than what it says on the surface about eating food. How does it tie in with the other three so well? That food is something that you internalize. And this is telling you, look, I'm going to tell you things now because it's getting way out there. So bear with me. It's on another level talking to you about the following. It opens up in Vayikra as follows. This, you can't have a camel because it has A and not B. You can't have a hazir because it has B, but it doesn't have A. That means that when you internalize things in society, right? This is how I understand it. When you internalize, because food is internalizing, you're taking the thing in, the liquid, you're taking it in. You know what you're taking in society? It's starting off with you on from the day you're born, the day you start breathing, you as a human being, right, are now absorbing everything that's in society, everything, the air, the sounds, the trees, the people, everything is impacting you on a constant level, and it is playing a role in how you get formed. You can even call that, the thing they say, nature or nurture. Which one is it? Well, nature is affecting you in an overwhelming way, and nurturing is affecting you. All of that's impacting you as when you come into the world. So food is the one that falls into that category, and the food statements, I claim, for the last week, that's what's going on over here. And of course, I still claim it. Now I have much more proofs to the fact that I'm right, and that's what I want to tell you tonight. I have half hour, and it's going to be okay. New little mango orange juice, just a little bit. All right. What do you call it? Dehydrated.
Words like that.
I can't drink water. I can never drink water.
Wow.
Stomach. No, that is something.
Water is surface tension. Is the smoothest thing that there is in the world. So it goes right down, and I don't have a stomach. So it goes down, and it goes into your small intestine, and you go, ah. Yeah. I have liquids that are thicker. Orange juice, apple juice, anything that's thicker, right? What's my favorite drink in the world? Smoothies. Smoothies go down. You take a smoothie, it doesn't go down quickly.
More than he needs.
Right?
Much more than he needs.
Yes, enough, more than enough. So you see, this is thick. It's orange juice and mango juice, right? No sugar added, but I can't have any sugar at all. I can, but it'll get you sick. I have sugar, but this has natural sugar. I can have as much natural sugar, it does nothing to me. It's very interesting. It does nothing. It has 30 grams of sugar, let's say. 30 grams of added sugar? Explosion, yeah. Okay. So I say, you know what it tells you? When you internalize, I'm going to use the word internalize a lot of times now, because food is internalized. You take it or drink and you internalize it, right? But on the deeper level of the message, it's telling you that when you are internalizing this thing, it's saying, be very careful when you internalize something. Don't ever take in anything from the society, from people, from your teachers, from the world, from whatever impacts you, that is predatorial. That's number one, ever. Well, it shows its cud. It just has these little things on them. So the Torah comes along and says, you know how much you have to distance yourself from predatorial things? Can't have any of it. The Torah is mahmir, super mahmir. When it comes to predatorial things, you can't take any of it in from society. Any kind. The Muslims, they tell you to do good things and whatever it may be, these positive things. But they say when you don't disagree with a guy, chop his head off, right? Like now, kill people, billion people. I want to like kill people, murder them, and men, women, and children. So how about if it's a little less than that, or a little less, or a little predatorial? So the Torah says it can't be at all. It has all the signs, and then the flip side of it.
Not
What is
even the
chewing the cud? Huh?
Not even the appearance of it.
Not even the appearance. Nothing. The other side of it is this. It's no predatorial thing whatsoever.
Right.
But when it's internalized, it's never brought up and reanalyzed. It is chewing the cud represents in the society thoughts. When you're absorbing something from society, when you digest it, an idea, a thought, an outlook, a philosophy, whatever you want to call it, a religious approach. When you are impressed with that, you absorb it, you internalize it, and then you've got to bring it back up and analyze it again. How much did you analyze it?
But Ronnie, one second.
Now, wait,
When we have,
please.
wait. Okay.
No, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you off. Give me a minute and you can come in.
In the middle of the
I'm
thing,
right
Josh,
in the middle
it's
of
not
the
gonna
thing.
get-
Yeah. Give me a minute, AB, okay? When you're internalizing a thing, that thing has to be analyzed beyond. I want to tell you an example. It's a great example. The rabbi and I would sit down and talk, or Rabbi Sassoon. We're talking till 3 o'clock in the morning. One day I'm in a car with a guy. I was friendly with him and he's in the back. Me and the rabbi talking for 2 hours. And we're analyzing something. I didn't even know we were analyzing something. That's what we were doing. So the guy in the back, after 2 hours, goes, how much you going to talk about this thing? He lost it. He went crazy. How much you going to talk about this thing? An hour ago. So me and the rabbi, I'll always remember, go like this. We didn't even get started. The guy went nuts, because I could talk at the rabbi like that for 8 hours straight. Now it's true, it's an exhausting process, it's draining, but there's no limit to the analysis. My mentors trained me, Rebbe Sassoon. We sometimes finished at 3 o'clock in the morning because the analysis doesn't let up till you get to the bottom of it. And then with the rab, if you go on for months, you're still in the middle and you're talking and you're analyzing. So I considered the chewing the cud thing, not the predatorial. The predatorial aspect's not there at all. But if you're taking something from society and you don't rework it and rework it again, and you take it on after one internal, you internalize it once, and you go, I'm done. I'm only saying this because of this room. You end up like a black cat. You take it in and you say, oh, it's all good. It's foolish. It becomes silly. It has no substance to it. To really have substance to it, it requires tremendous amount of analysis, to the point which every single one of you guys in all these years, how much did you experience that? Your whole life.
That was the whole Saturday night parasha.
Yeah. Non-stop. And if another guy is listening to that class, he leaves, because he's hearing us talk. Lee, you guys have all experienced this, and we lived it. So we know what it means to chew your cud, and how much you have to chew it, like those animals that are bringing it back up, analyzing it again. And who says you may BO out of the whole thing after the third analysis, the fourth? There's no end to it. So I view those words as having to do with these instructions, having to do with that. That's why it opens up on it. If you look in Devarim, you could look while I'm talking. If you look in Devarim does not open up with the same opening as Vayikra. Vayikra chapter 11 opening says, these are animals you can have and not have. You know what Devarim says? These are animals you're allowed to eat. And it lists 10 of them. You can see the animals there if you have it in front of you, chapter 14, verse 3 or 4, wherever it is, right? You see that?
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's 10 of them there. There's 10 animals that are mentioned, and you know them. Vayikra comes along and says a whole statement about what you're allowed to eat. I'm sorry, Devarim. Vayikra comes along and doesn't even mention those 10. It starts with where Devarim also has the instructions for eating the animal,
Right.
Whether it's a predator, whether it's malakira or whether it's a hoof, another screws is cut, and it goes through that. Now, remember that Devarim is going to say it in 180 words. It's going to be much more concise. Good, Ezra? It's not going to say anything about Shirasim. If you'll take a look at chapter Vayikra, chapter 11, and go to verse 29.
It's just one sentence.
One sentence. You can read that sentence. It's nothing. It's not to do. Not to do. Off. The shade says, "Oh, this tameh." But take a look at chapter 11, verse 29, all the way through verse 38.
Yeah.
What does it say? A whole long section. Zelachem hatameh b'sheretz sheretz ha'as ha'oled v'achbar v'atzav v'elmenu v'hanakav v'koah v'ta'av v'chom v'tishamin elahem atemim lachem v'chol sher nugeh v'hem gotem na'ad. Okay? Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to read the whole thing. I'm giving you an example of a whole section over here, which is about 3, 4, 5, 10, let's say 100, 120 words. I forgot what it is now.
There's a whole Tumah aspect in there.
And then there's a whole Tumah. If you touch it,
Right.
the Devarim says, Devarim doesn't say one word about it. If you touched it, you get Tameh, and you have to Well, that's going to be the following, right? All of chapter 11 from verse, let's say, 29, all the way through the end, right? All the way through the end of chapter 11. That whole 250 words right there doesn't exist in Devarim. Now, I claim like this. You see, as we've seen before, for you guys in this room, you should be able to understand this well. Vayikra is coming along and making major additions to what it says. It's expanding on it.
Yes.
I see the problem with this. But you see, it's expanding subsequent to a disaster, subsequent to it didn't work, subsequent to a...
You need more.
You all know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's subsequent to a complete apocalyptic event, right?
You need more Lord.
So now it's going to, like it does it in everything, all over, it is going to expand. And it's going to drive the point home in a very sophisticated way. Very super sophisticated. And it's going to do it in such a way as to effect change. It's not just going to do it to tell you a thing and say, you better not. It's going to do it in such a way, listen carefully, to bring about change. It's a didactic procedure which is so sophisticated that when you finish learning it, I'm only doing this for example's sake. When you go in a room that has a lot of flowers and beautiful fragrances, you come out, you smell from it. You go to a sewer, you come out of the sewer, you smell, you didn't touch anything in the sewer. You go to a tannery, the famous one, walk in the tannery, come out, don't touch anything, just walk in and walk out. You smell, because if you're impacted, that's you're taking in within the society. Vice versa, you go into places, go to the department store, which I can't stand those things when you walk through the lobby, those but you can pick it up and you can smell it when you're out in the street, right? So it does it in an amazing way where it brings about change. Now, we're not going to talk about that tonight because that's a terrific subject in and of itself, what it means, how it affects change, and how it teaches and at the same, and through emphasis, expansion, concepts, and so on and so forth, that bring about a different frame of mind.
Well, it was necessary because it's a whole new society.
No, because it
As
fails.
opposed to when you had a central location like that, now you no longer have that, so you need.
That's part of it. That's part of it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this part. The part that says it didn't work. A very good teacher who works with students knows how to bring about change in them if he's very, very, very good. Not just by telling them, you got it, take the test, da 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 da. It's how he transmits it. It's how the examples he uses, the imaginative faculties that he sets in motion for the student. He doesn't talk to their right brain only. He talks to their right brain. He talks to their left brain. He talks with the intellectual aspect, and at the same time, he talks to the imaginative faculties. And the real successful teacher knows how to bring those two together in an amazing way. The Torah does it beyond comprehension, how it brings it together. And we've talked about this over these many years. It boggles the mind when you spend enough time analyzing it and seeing how it affects change. So that's happening over here. So on the secondary level, I said, that's what's happening over here. He, now, the Navi, here, is making sure that the factors that came into play, where you absorbed from society, right? Like that guy who was sitting in the back of the car being the rab, the end of the result is that we came up with a solution, for example, that the guy doesn't even dream that that's what we're going to come up with, but we're not going to let it just be an oversimplistic conclusion. Similarly, just like that's going to happen in the let's say in the religious realm, right? In the observance realm, there's going to be the one where you're talking about politics and which kind of leaders are acceptable and what they say and how you see corruption in leadership, but it's subtle. I'll give you an example on that. The rabbi was the only one in the whole community who never took money for anything, ever, from when he was 20 years old. Ever, not a dollar. Why? Because he once you do it, you're finished. Once you do it, you're done. You can never rid yourself of it. It has to be, like it can't be predatory in any way. It can't have any kind of a compromise on who you are. Once you do it, $100 gift, just let me say thank you. No, it can't be. So both sides have to be in balance and in harmony with each other. That said, I went through all of the Vayikra legislation here, and I looked at the words of the names of the animals, the creatures, because they're creatures here. We call them creatures now, because there are birds, there are creepy crawlies, there are things that are they're flying around. There's a locust, right? Flying around. They're not birds. Locusts are not birds, right? But they're flying around, right? Right. They're swarming. So I called them for this purpose. I looked at the creatures and I looked at the creatures' names. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to give it to you, even though it needs another 2 hours. I'm going to go fast. So bear with me. I looked at it and I said, look, you see that word? It's a tinshamet. I said, you see that word tinshamet? It has the word in it of neshama, right? And it's a taf, a nun, a sheen, a mem, and a taf. Now, of course, when I said it to Morris and Shabbat, I'm so far into Midrash land that you got to throw me out the door right now from my own house. It's so absurd, but
You've been there for a while, but we're letting it ride till now. It's good you confessed.
no, only on to everything I said up to. You mean because I said you do one without the other? Yes, that's true. But when I said it, the Tinshamet one, then you got to. What I said before it's a very, very beautiful concept. What I'm saying now that the word has the word neshama in it, it has a 400 before and a taf and a taf and a say and life in between. What? You need an institution, right? So that word is a word that was important to me in it. But I said like this. When I was working with Joey, you could open your mouth and let me not talk for 10 seconds. I said, Joey, all those things are in Devarim. You can't say that if they were there before, and that was not their function in Devarim. Their function was to say the creatures you could have and couldn't have. Now I'm going to say a whole midrash, and I'm going to take the words that were there. No, you see, Vayikra, the sacrificial procedure, you have a lot of flexibility. Over here, I said, I can't do this. They'll put me. They'll get the straitjacket out, right? But now I'm going to give you sheets because we only have a few minutes left, and we can't go past today. You can do it now. Yeah, I think you'll have enough. I hope you have enough.
Very good.
You good? You're good, Morris. You need one. So now, it heard me talk today for about 4 hours with Joey Angel and Rabbi Ralphie and with Joey Namer, and it said, "Here's what you talked about today." Now, listen to me carefully before we look at the analysis of dietary laws in Vayikra and Devarim. Listen to me. No, look at me before you look at the sheet. I then said, I have to go and line up like I did in all my work. When I'm caught, I do structural work. First, I do the content. Then I do structural work because the structure, how many times have I said this to you guys? Hundreds. It informs on the content. Now I'm trying to say something that is pure fantasy, right? But I know I'm right. When I say I know I'm right, I instinctually know. See, nobody knows what Yoledit and Sarah. No one knows what Sarat is. Nothing. Yes, idea. We have a very good sense of it. We've written about it extensively. It's all revolutionary. So when I say this is the first of the 4 elements, I worked myself backwards. I never worked on the first one. I worked on the fourth and the third and the second. I'm backing into it, but I know the presentation. I know the level it's working on. I've got the concept. You understand this, Lee? It's very important because that's not guessing. That's not midrash, what I say on sections 2, 3, and 4. Okay. I instinctually know that's what's happening in section 1, and it has to do with internalizing. But I don't have proof. So far, so good. I need more. So I said, let me do it. So I line up the take a look at the last page. Now you can turn it over. All the way to this page. It looks like this. Most of them should be the same. I line up the texts and I put them as follows. On the left is there's 2 columns Vayikra Devarim and there's 2 columns Vayikra and Devarim to the right. Mm-hmm. The first one, take Devarim, forward, reverse. You see there are 35 elements. Mm-hmm. It's 30, right? 35 creatures, I mean. Good. The Devarim one ends on the word V'ha'atalef. Everybody with me? Yeah. 35 of them. You see 35 next to it, everybody? Yeah. Good. Look at Vayikra. It has 36 of them. And it ends on Tinshamit. Everybody see that? Yeah. Good. Now, on the right side, I said, wow, Vayikra has a completely different set of creatures. Why? Everybody look at me for 1 minute. Because there are 10 creatures that it says are permissible in Devarim. Vayikra doesn't even talk about them. So what the heck? How can it come out 35 and 35 or 35 and 36? What did it do? It offset it to make it one off? It's almost like it's purposeful. Are you following the question? Everybody clear? Yeah. You have to be 100% if you don't ask. Yeah. So I said, wow, weird. So I lined it up. You see the animals that are allowed right hand side, Devarim, Shor, Kesavim, etc. You see, it's the number 10. I highlighted it for you.
Yeah.
Then I lined up where the same. You see Gamal?
Yeah.
Lee, you see it? You see Shafan and Adnebit are flip-flopped, but they're there.
Yeah.
All the way down until you get to Ayah. You see Ra'ah and Da'ah, number 8.
He's missing the
8, 18, 8. You see those in yellow?
Yeah.
Good. The differences are one letter, a Resh and a Dalet. Everybody see?
Yeah.
Then you have Ayah. Then you see Daya, Ezra. There's no Daya in Vayikra.
Is it the app?
I'm sorry?
Is it the app? But not an
Also,
That's
No, the Da'ah is you have Ra'ah and Da'ah, right? So there's Shindalit.
This is the order also? Or should you-
Exactly.
Yeah, it has to be.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm showing you exactly as it's written. Then there's Da'ah. Now you see Orev, Yana, Tahmaz, Nes, and Kos. Everybody with me? Then in Vayikra, you have a word that comes up that didn't occur in Devarim. Before, you had a word that occurred in. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. That Daya occurs in Devarim, doesn't occur in Vayikra. But now you have a word Shalach that is occurring in Vayikra, but doesn't occur in.
It does.
Well, it does. Just
Wait. I know I put the chart for you. But right now, a change took place at the number 8, the number 16, right?
20.
20.
And then at 20.
No.
Ezra,
16.
Listen.
16. That's
you see the 8 that's yellow? You see the 8?
16.
And then you see 21?
Yeah.
It's the 21st.
Yeah.
It's the 21st one in Devarim.
The-
In Devarim. Got that?
Yes.
And what happens? The shalach is picked up. You saw the arrow? That's what you were talking about, right, Ezra?
Yeah.
Now you're back to 21, 22, 23, 24. And now it starts talking about 4 creatures that you're allowed to eat that it doesn't mention in Devarim. Those are locusts, grasshoppers. You see, Arbeh,
Yeah.
Solam, Hargal, and Hagab.
Yeah.
Those are all the animals that what is it called? That knees and they jump, right? They have the joint in the legs and they jump. And that is there. You could eat those. You could eat locust. You ever see that guy Slifkin? He sells it. Yeah. They're kosher. So he says, "How are they? Crunchy." Look at the thing. I can't imagine. Even I can't imagine tasting it.
The guy even said that, I think,
Yeah. But you want to know something about that? It's amazing that they say when there were famines, when there were problems, and you're dying of hunger, and you can get protein. You're eating those things like there's no tomorrow, like busy. You know what I mean?
Uncle ate it.
Also, Japan.
What?
Now I can't eat them.
in Japan.
Is that true? Oh, he ate them in Japan. His uncle.
Uncle Al.
His uncle ate them in Japan. Interesting. Yeah, of course. Well, in the prison, you eat the cockroach. Yeah. You're gonna, or you die. Right? So now, Arbeh, Solam, Hargal, and Hagab, and then you have the 8. You'll notice it's 8 shirasim mentioned with 3 in one verse and 5, I think, in the next. Choled, Akhbar, Sab, and Akak, Koach, Leta'a, Omet, and then Tinshamit. I go, 1 second. I know from my work over the last 40 years, because if you all remember, I worked on the genealogies. I worked on many things where I found that when you have lists and you're one off, you look closely and 2 people had the same name. And if you call it one name, the system works out perfectly. Got that? So I went like this. This word is the word kid, for example. It's 2 different categories. One's a bird and one's a creepy crawly, correct? But in it would sound like this in English. It's a kid, a child, and a kid, a goat. Same exact word, completely different meaning. What do you call that in English when you have the When
The same.
when they're spelt the same and they have two different meanings.
Same word, just different.
Homonym? Homonym? Is it a homonym?
Homonym, maybe,
How
yeah.
many sounds alike and spelled differently?
Right. Homonym. Maybe homophone. All right, whatever. I know time.
Red.
Right.
Book or the color.
So I look at it and I go, my God, if you take Tinshamit, which is the word I was working on the previous week, saying that word is a key word here. But I'm huh? Yeah. And it's the last one. And if you say how many different spellings are in the creatures, you end up with 35. Now, the Vayikra, look at me for a second. Vayikra is duplicating the amount of creatures that were mentioned in Devarim, but mentioning completely different creatures, but ends up with the same 36 different creatures, but 35 names, therefore duplicating the Devarim 35 creatures. I go, oh my God, that's amazing. Me and Joey on Friday, look, and Joey and I see that if you look here, Tinshamit, the first one, you see that? Number 18, right? Well, 14, Tinshamit, 18, you see?
Yeah.
You see it's the 18th one?
On the very right.
In Vayikra, it's the 18th one.
14th one.
No, listen to me. Go down here, right?
Oh,
You
you want this one?
Yeah, that's Vayikra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're starting from Gamal,
Okay.
right? Shalach, 16, Yenshuv, 17, Teshemet, 18,
Right.
right?
18th creature, 14th bird. Okay.
14th.
No,
No, you didn't say it right.
no, sorry.
No. No,
14th creature here.
no,
So wait, what are the two counts?
7, 8.
no.
But the middle is matches. You've got the middle is matches, no?
Is that what you said?
The one on the left, AB didn't see it, and you're not all seeing it. I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4 group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20 group. 1, 2, 3, 4 group. Forget that line. Only look at the one to the right. There, it's the 18th creature mentioned in Vayikra. You with me?
Yeah.
Look over to the right in Devarim and see which creature it is.
28.
The 28th.
Mhm.
Now look at me. It's the 28th. But aren't there 10 creatures mentioned in Devarim that are at the very beginning of the things you're allowed to eat?
Yes.
That the Vayikra doesn't talk about?
Yes.
What happens when you take off the 10 that are mentioned? It's the 18th. He made it the 18th. He made it the 18th because he leaves off the 10 before it. So they're both the 18th. Now take a look at which one the other Tinshamit is. 18 and 18 is? He made it 18 later. And he ends Vayikra on Tinshamit. It ends on the one that is the 18th one, thereby taking it, making it the same spelling, now ending up with 35, like Devarim. He duplicates Devarim, and he duplicates the word Tinshamit that he wants you to catch. Here's how I said it to Joey. He's speaking to you. If you're looking at this and you know what he's doing, he's going, that's right. I made it twice. That's right. It's the 18th one. That's right. I made it 36th one. That's right. I made it the same spelling. That's right. I made it 35 like Devarim. I'm letting you know my source. I'm letting you know where I'm coming from. I'm letting you know I'm building on it. And I'm letting you know that it's the 18th and I made it last, so it should be the next 18. So it should be perfect. Not only that, in what pasuk is it? What pasuk is it in Vayikra? If you look, chapter 11, look at the 18th verse. In chapter 11, and read it, Ike. That's enough. It's in the 18th one is in the 18th verse, followed by 18 later, the same word. Good?
Yeah.
Now, I look at the word and I say the following. Now you could turn to the front of the sheet and everything will hopefully make it easier for me to make this presentation. If we don't finish today, in our next class,
180 words.
there's 180 words. Devarim has 180 words in its structure. You see on the right-hand side, see 35 unique species. Total count, everybody in the box, upper right-hand box. Lee, you got it, upper right-hand box? Yeah. 35 unique species, structural alignment, it's called. By the way, it does an amazing job, the AI. Listen, total count matched across both Vayikra and Devarim after accounting for repetitions. 180 are the words in the Devarim section. And then it wrote Gematria match. I never said that, right? Now, the Tinshemet signature. Ezra, could you please read that for me?
Dual appearance of Tinshemet, 18 and 36 position, acts as a thematic anchor, linking dietary laws to neshama, soul or breath.
The word Neshama means soul and breath. Everybody now, take these sheets and hand them out quick.
That's your portal to the new dimension.
What?
That's your portal to the extra dimension.
That's correct. But now watch. Look at the sheets I just handed out. And look what it says. Where do you have the word Neshama and Nefesh Hayah coming up in all of the Torah? Take a look, bit of sheet 120. Aiki, read bit of sheet 120.
ויאמר אלוהים ישתצו המים שרץ נפש חיה ואוף יעופף על הארץ על פני רקיע השמיים.
You see that? Now read bit of sheet 27.
Sheet 27, well,
Just go right. No. Bit of sheet 27, I say.
next pasuk.
No. 5 down, the green one. No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Vayisir.
ויסר אדוני אלוהים את האדם עפר מן האדמה ויפח באפיו נשמה חיה.
Nishmash.
בת חיים. ויהי האדם לנפש חיה.
Okay, we can't read all of those. Turn now to Vayikra and read Vayikra 11:10. Stephen.
מכל אשר אין לו סנפיה בקשקשת בימים ובנחלים, מכל שרץ המים, מכל נפש חיה, אשר במים שקט הם לכם.
Now, I live just and I go like this. Nefesh Hayah, Nefesh Hayah, Nefesh Hayah. It only occurs, and when it is in creation, Lee, because you said it so well, you're entering the other. Oh, this is all breathing, carbon-based creatures, right? You're breathing, right? You're alive. My claim last week was you are alive and you are constantly internalizing, right? So it takes the word that did exist before, right? It brings in Nefesh Hayah, which is at the beginning of creation, very start, and uses the word to refer to Tinshamet now becomes that word, Neshama. You have the word. So I go, my God. Right? The word Neshama is showing up in the context we are talking about Nefesh Hayah and so on and so forth. Coming back to your sheets now, I'm skipping because of time constraints. Read the systematic juxtaposition, Morris.
First page, front page.
He needs his reading list.
Systematic juxtaposition. Vayikra omissions notably exclude the 10 permissible land animals, ox, sheep, goat, explicitly named in Devarim. Numerical notes. Alterations occur at specific positions, 8th, 10th, 16th, 21st, suggesting deliberate architecting. Letter shifts. Subtle changes like daya to da'a, dalid verse resh, indicate intentional textual variance.
Keep going. Ethical discernment. Go.
Ethical discernment. Chewing the cud is not just a biological trait, it represents the constant deliberate struggle against impulse and the necessity of deep analysis. Absolute standards. One kosher sign is not enough. Uncompromising integrity in financial and social ethics.
Okay. It couldn't have said it better if I asked it to take what I was speaking about today. If you'll turn the page, unveiling the structural analysis of the species list, I'd like to, guys, you want to go 5 more minutes or you want to stop? It's up to you. Because it's haram not to do it. Haram. Slowly, read unveiling.
Unveiling the structural mass of the species list. After moving past the technical issues, the previous
By the way, he knows it's me. Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
The paragraph before was hysterical. Rani presented the core of his analysis, which compares the list of animal species in Vayikra Chapter 11 and Devarim Chapter 14. He explains his Excel spreadsheet, which systematically juxtaposes the two lists to highlight structural differences and patterns.
Keep going.
Key observations from the initial comparison include omission in Vayikra. The list of Vayikra notably admits the 10 permissible land animals, example ox, sheep, goat, that are explicitly named at the beginning of the Devarim list. Structural differences. There are several intentional seeming alterations between the lists. The order of the first few non-kosher animals is reversed. A significant change occurs at the 8th position, where the word dayat in one list appears to be altered to da'at in the other, a subtle change in the Hebrew letters dalit and resh. Additional differences appear at the 10th and 16th positions, including Vayikra containing the species Shalach. Okay, which is absent Devarim at that point. Numerical patterns. Rani pointed out that these changes occur at numerically significant positions, 8th, 10th, 16th, 21st, suggesting a deliberate design rather than scribal error. This detailed structural breakdown sets the stage for the central discovery of the discussion.
Keep going.
The Tinshemet discovery and the theme of internalization. This section unpacks the central breakthrough of the analysis, focusing on the profound significance of the word Tinshemet. The speakers identified this word as the key to unlocking the deeper meaning of the entire sentence. The four findings are dual appearance. In Vayikra, the word Tinshemet appears twice. First at the 18th position in the overall list of named species, as a type of bird, and again for 36th position as a type of crawling creature. Numerical unification. This dual usage is structurally critical. While Vayikra appears to list 36 species, the repetition of Tinshemet means that there are only 35 unique species names. This total exactly matches the 35 unique species names found in Devarim, after accounting for its initial 10 permissible animals. This alignment is interpreted as a clear, intentional, structural signature.
Stop. By me, you have to understand that is this stage in my work. This is pashut already. There is not maybe I'm playing a game. This is definitely on purpose. This is fitting in. How many times have you seen me talk about patterns that taste like this, smell like this, look like this? This is how we see structural patterns being used. You guys have experience in seeing it in acrostics, in genealogies, in narrative stories, in Nevi'im Yishonim, in Mishlei, Eyob, all and Tehillim, all over the place.
If you don't see it, you question why and what's going on.
That's correct. That's correct. But here it is. It happened. You're being prompted. Well, it says it there. It says it here. What's the difference between the two? Well, you know what nobody ever takes the time to do? That's why I stopped you. No one ever says it was not done on purpose. They say, oh, the letters, yeah, someone wrote it this way. Someone wrote it that guy. This guy lived in the north. This guy lived in the south. This guy was a fanatic. This was a crazy guy. No one says everybody sells the Nevi short. You know what selling the Nevi short means? Oh, he's not that smart. Oh, he's not that brilliant. Shakespeare, brilliant. You know, Dante, brilliant. The Nevi, nah, he's not that. You know how you'd have to be you ready? You'd have to have Nivuah to do that. You know, like, right? So they never, and we are trained. Look at every single one of the elements, line them up, look at them, analyze them, and see if he's talking to you. See the nature of the word Tinshamet. They use the word that existed. That's representing his concept, Neshama, with the taf and the taf around it. This is you want to bring the people into the covenant now. This is all about what the four sections are going to be. It's all about restructuring, right? The nation, rebuilding it from the ground up now, right? You got to rebuild the whole thing from scratch. So now it has all of those elements in it. Now you can keep going with thematic connection.
Thematic connection. Tinshemet is etymologically linked to the Hebrew word neshama, breath, soul. This connection is interpreted as the primary theme of the dietary laws, internalization. Just as breathing is a constant, life-sustaining act of taking the outside world in, these laws teach a principle of discerning of what may internalize from their environment, culture, and experiences. Reinforcing patterns. The significance of Tinshemet is further reinforced by the position at number 18, a number associated with I, and the appearance within the text of 180 words of Devarim. Additionally, Tinshemet is an anagram of Shemonat, 8. Oh, wow.
Nobody saw that one, right? It has the word Shemonah in it. Yeah, right.
This discovery moves the analysis from a purely speculative midrash to a structurally supported midrash thesis.
Solely 10
Keep
points.
going, keep going.
I give you 10.
So, Shemin is not just a name, but a thematic anchor, deliberately placed by the author to teach a profound lesson about absolute discernment as a prerequisite for holiness.
Now you have to remember that it's important that you see that it's called a thematic anchor, and not your joke was a good joke. It's not if you don't. It's a thematic anchor. It's an anchor. I'm anchored now. When I saw you on Shabbat, you said that. And you were right. And I told you right away, you're right. You could say anything about anything and make a story. Yeah, but I have a very, very powerful thematic anchor now that takes it out of the realm of, am I saying it or is the Navi saying it? These things point, that anchor that I have now, I'm anchored. I'm not floating around in the middle of the ocean, and it ties in on multiple, whether it's Nefesh Hayah, whether it's using Bereshit that way, whether it's here, whether it means to, how many times you have the string Neshama to breathe in all of Tanakh. Keep going, we're almost done.
Textual analysis to theological and personal philosophy. The discussion elevates the structural findings of the broader philosophical and theological framework, connecting the abstract textual patterns to concrete principles of ethics and morality. The theme of absolute uncompromising discernment, symbolized by the rule that an animal with one kosher sign but not the other is unequivocally out, is presented as a central message. This principle is linked to the other biblical narratives, particularly the story preceding the dietary laws, where Aaron's sons, Nadav and Avihu, are punished for a lack of discernment, while Aaron himself demonstrates it by chewing his cud, deeply analyzing before deciding not to eat a holy offering.
Almost done.
Right. Powerfully illustrates this concept in personal anecdotes about his mentoring, Nadav and Rabbi Sassum. He describes the total and uncompromising ethical standards, such as refusing to accept any monetary gifts that create a conflict of interest and persevering ties over moral actions. This real-world application of leaving no room for compromise is presented as a living embodiment of the principles encoded in the dietary laws. The laws, therefore, are not merely about food, but a foundational education in the non-negotiable nature of ethical purity and the constant deliberate struggle against impulse.
Keep going.
Methodological reflection and further textual exploration. In the final section, the group recaps the findings for Joe, a newly arrived participant.
No, it was Joe Angel. Two Joes.
Joe's not new. He just said, no, I was there the whole time.
Yeah.
On the research process itself, Ralphie and Joe highlight Ronnie's distinctive methodology when faced with the conceptual challenge of feeling stuck. He dives into the nitty-gritty work of counting words, listing species, and comparing text. This laborious process of massaging the text is what allows deeper structural patterns to emerge and either validate or refute the initial midrashic idea.
I wanted you to get to those last. That, of course, I don't live in a world of fantasy. And of course, it's without the anchor and without seeing these early stages, right? This is all brand new. No one ever looked at Tinshamit and things, and no one ever realized how words are going to be used in Sarat. Words are going to be key elements of things, words that are used that are not used elsewhere. Like here, like there, like in Zav and Zavah. It is going to be a consistent pattern, not only through all of prophetic writing, but in these four sections, it's going to play a critical role. Critical. So it's not by itself when I'm saying it. When I'm saying this, it's part of the way you're going to look at all four sections and how they're going to be integrated. So by saying that to you, I'm going to say this much. I personally am done. I know I'm right. I'm telling you, I know I'm right. This, without this anchor, I wouldn't have said it in tonight's class. But I'm going to tell you now, it's just filling in the blanks now. Now, for me, this is it. I knew it was internalization. I knew it represented more. I knew it one without the other is telling you discernment. The opening words about the kashrus are, if you have this and you don't have this, it's no good. If you have this and that and you don't have the other one, it's no good. Out. And you look at the animals and the fact that they're predatorial and it's chewing the cud, and chewing the cud clearly means to me reassessing, revisiting the thought, revisiting it again and again and again. Because if you don't, you end up being a right-wing, left-wing woke idiot, foolish, unsubstantiated, or a right-wing fool who doesn't celebrate Yom HaAtzmaut on Wednesday and who doesn't go to think you have to fight in the war and makes fun of the nation. It's just stupid. You end up with real stupidity. By the way, real stupidity. You also end up with real evil, right? You end up with a nation like Germany getting upset, kill 6, 7 million and 20 million people, and men, women, and children, all to wipe out the entire thing because it makes sense to 12 guys in a room. 12 guys in a room. So the Torah is coming along now in Vayikra. This is what I want to close on. All of Sefer Vayikra, all of the third book of Tehillim is going to talk about who was more than anybody responsible for the downfall of the nation. The priests, their foolish approach about magic, blessing the people, corruption, power. They were doing that. That's Hophni and Pinhas. Nadab and Abihu were going to die on the dedication day. Here you are at the highest point. It's dedication day, and everything falls apart. It explodes, right? It's hard to comprehend, right? You've reached it, you've done it, and now the whole thing is destroyed and you're in pieces. So clearly, of course, that's what it's doing over here. It wants that discernment because no one was discerning, and Yirmiyah uses those terms when he talks about them, right? Of foolish people, right? Never thinking, drawing silly conclusions, and he speaks that out in detail. In detail, he talks about this. The power guys in detail, and the religious guys in detail. They go, oh, we should have been offering the Ketoret, that if we would have, everything would have been better. Yeah. Or they look at the temple, they go, Hechal Hashem, Hechal Hashem, Hechal Hashem. And of course, he looks and goes, they think because they said those words 3 times, they're talking about the temple, that everything is going to be great. And of course, it's a stupid conclusion. He tells them this place is going to be like Shiloh, and then they want to kill him. And then they almost kill him. And the guy who saves his life, his name is Ahikam ben Shaphan. His name is Ahikam ben Shaphan. His name is Ahikam, my brother Ahikam, to take the stand. He is the one who comes to the room and says, what's going on over in the temple outside? They're about to hang, they hang him. They come out, they say, he's capital punishment. He goes, you come with me. He's a Green Beret soldier with 30 soldiers. They don't talk. They don't open their mouths when he can't go. He says, you're with me, and he takes them out. It happens to be that Shaphan, I'm going to tell you how far I take this. I think the Shaphan flip is on purpose. There's another Shaphan, Yazaniah ben Shaphan, who is the guy when Scale talks about looking at the hole in the wall, and he sees, remember, Hashem takes him to the temple grounds, and there's an opening, and he tells him, dig. And he starts digging in the hole, and he gets a breakthrough, and he looks through, and he sees 70 elders, and they're all with their pans in the smoke, and the Evan Mesquite is all on the walls, like those shuls that you go to. It's all with writings all over the place of black magic. And the leader in the middle of them his name is Yazaniah ben Shaphan. He's the guy who's leading the whole thing. So I think that's going to come out playing a role in this flip-flop. We're going to see that some of the plays on the names are going to be purposeful, not accidental. And then you're going to end up with a new order that says all of those religious and all of those approaches to religion were stupid, foolish, and led to death. Not just foolish, they led to death and suffering. And the other approaches on the other side led to death and suffering. And that's how you have to rework society. And that's what he's doing in every step of it. On the surface was kashrut and on internalization. So I did my best to.
Unbelievable.
Tired. Yeah, oh, you liked it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, good.
The cut coming up.
You're tired. I think I know how I feel right now. Yeah.
I thought the cut coming up, you were gonna say he must teach it. It must come up to. Wondering if you were gonna go there. Like he must come out. Come up.
No, it stays in your body. It stays in.
Right. It doesn't come out. You just keep chewing it till there's nothing left to chew. You keep digesting it. There's nothing.
Keep your hair straight.
Oh, yeah, of course, it's Ben Achikam, Ben Shafan, you know that.
Hello?
Yeah.
Did you hear? I know that, but you should say it to them.
Well, I don't know what it means.
He's
Yeah, it's Ben Achikam.
Ben Achikam.
Shafan.
Yeah, the guy who's going to save the day, who was going to be he's going to the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan.
Right, yeah. I knew
Right?
it was-
That family plays a big
coming up.
role in saving his life
Why the chef?
and showing them to see people of quality who have, on the one side, you see as the average of one, see potential that went that way, and then the other side, you see people who are courageous, brave, and leaders, and with coming from the right place, and they killed Gedalia, as you know, so Gedalia. Right. You like it?
Amazing.
It's amazing. Good.
300?
What, Lee? Did you It's good, right?
430.
I want you to know that before this Friday breakthrough with Joey, I'm not kidding you. I was all week saying I will never get anywhere with this. It's been 30 years. I have no idea what he's talking about. And then this started to.
210, but
Yeah.
It's just music, another layer.
I was sure.
On everything. I was waiting.
Yes.
I was writing.
By the way, now
Why
you still
can't
have
we just repeating, why we do this without another layer?
That's right. And I know he never does anything just like that.
Yeah.
You took the double up and he made it the last one and he made it the 36th one.
I don't think they could go easy.
They're not over.
Exactly.
They don't.
Yeah, and the odds on that throwing that way is 10 billion to 1 that he made it just like that. And it's the word that has Shimon after it. Where that's Shimon after it. He finds an anchor
You know,
and he builds the whole thing.
The regions are turning that meat.
Good, huh?
We need to eat meat.
Um,
I want gold stars from you guys for this. I want gold stars.
Wednesday, okay.
Yeah, mommy wants to go to deal and I'm trying to delay it till after Black Friday.
Okay,
Tell mom. Tell
she's
mom.
not there.
Oh, she's not there. Okay. Call her and tell tomorrow daddy has to.
Very nice. Now you have to prove it.
Morris, stop the, what do you call it, please? Stop the,
By the way, you didn't read the best paragraph.